My name is Florence Onuma. I am the anchor of Lifereals. Lifereals was created to reach out to people that need somebody to talk to, a shoulder to lean on, an avenue for people to express themselves instead of blocking things up.
To be worried, everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Yeah. I know you've been wondering why
I need to tell you how they turn their lemons into lemonade. I have been through a lot myself, and I'm also here to share my experiences with you. You know what? I've been betrayed. I have been gossiped. I have been criticized wrongly. I have been judged. I have been misunderstood. And I'm here to tell you that you're not alone in that game. Come, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Don't bother. That's depression. Depression is real. Don't kill yourself before your time. There's always a solution to that problem you're going through. Here on Lifereals, we are here to help you. Come, follow me on this page. Let's talk about that problem. Trust me, together we can solve it. Lifereals is here to help you.
No need to be worried. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. One step at a time. No need to be worried.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Yes. Yes. Hello, Lifereals family. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Depends on where you're watching me from. My name is Florence Onuma. I've not changed my name, and this is Lifereals. I welcome you all to Lifereals live broadcast today, the 22nd of June, 2025. It's the day of the Lord, and we are all happy in it, right? Thank you so much for connecting. Okay, well, I always remind that Lifereals was created to form a community of people of like minds who are willing to bear and share each other's burden. That's what Lifereals is all about, and that is what we have maintained. So here you can come, tell us the story, share it with us. If you have any advice, any form of correction, we rebuke you in love. We love you. We share the problem with you. We give you a shoulder to lean on. If it's testimony, we rejoice with you. That's what life is all about. If there's anywhere we can extend a hand of help to you, we do that. Not because we are rich, but because we are a family. And what is family for? Family, we have to look out for each other. Whatever the situation is, we have to look out for each other. So that's what we do here. All right. So having said that, I want you to share the link, share the link. Each one tell one, share the link. Yep. Share the link. Please share the link. Share the link. Yo, Rita and Suffer, you are here. Always first to land. Trust her. Always first to land. Rita, share the link. Call your people. Call them. Yes, happy Sunday, Rita. I appreciate you for always being here to connect with us. You are a strong member of the family, and God will bless you immensely. Call your brothers and sisters. Tell them the Lifereals on. Call them. Let them come. Okay, so we are still call the family the caller. Call them. Call them. The family they pay. We go to go. You guys report here. The family meeting has started. Come, let's talk about it. Yes, Honor Godfrey. Come on now. Let's go. I like that. Each one tell one. Be your brother's keeper. Call them. Lifereals is on. And you guys know for the past 2 weeks now, we've been sharing the Stephanie Amabeoku story. Yeah, that's what we're sharing. And that we are going to continue to share the story today, and if possible, conclude the story today. Okay? But before then, you guys know I will have this game we play. If you log in and you still, I think today is the 4th Sunday that we are doing it. Maybe the last Sunday, then we'll start something else. All right? So if you log in, unfortunately, Rita, you've gotten your own data. So let's pick other people today. If they log in and they set to the end of the program, then they get a data. That's what we are doing. And today is the 4th Sunday, I'm sure, and the last Sunday we are going to do this. So catch on it right now and get your data. Log in and stay at the end of the program. How do I know you're here? I'll see your comments. I will see you responding to comments. If you don't have anything to say, respond to what people are saying. You can decide not to support. You can support, it doesn't matter, but I just want you to be here to be part of this conversation. And if you're here, 4 of you that will log in next, if you're here at the end of the program, then you get your data, right? So that's what it is. So I'm waiting. I think I've written here. I've not seen another person. If they come in, they come in. So like I was saying, we have a story that's ongoing. Like this Stephanie Amabeoku story. She has told us the story from when she was young, how she left the house, stayed on the streets, sleep under the bridges in Lagos, how she, went to Port Harcourt. From Port Harcourt, she went to Abuja. From Abuja, she went back to Port Harcourt to go to school. And now we're at the point where she met her husband. A Chris voice. A Chris, you are watching. Thank you. Godfrey, you're here. So I have a Chris and I have Godfrey. Okay, did you guys make sure you stay to the end of the program so you can get your data? Chris, you missed your data the last time because I didn't hear from you at the end of the program. Honor Godfrey, the same thing happened to you. So if you guys can stay at the end of the program, you're going to get your data. I promise you. Okay. So I've gotten 2 people right now. All right. So we're at the point where she met her husband, right? And her sister went to tell the family that, oh, the man is so poor, the sister is going to poverty. And that's the sister she was supposed to be, training in school, like paying her tuition and all that, was the one that actually, backstabbed her by going to the family to say that she was getting married to a poor man. That's why the story is going to start today. So while we are logging in, I'm going to quickly bring in Stephanie so we can continue with today's story. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello, good evening, Mom.
How are you, sweetie?
I'm fine, thank you today.
We bless God. We bless God. You're welcome to Lifereals Studios. And yeah, you have been our guest for the past 2 weeks. This is the 3rd week you're coming on this show to tell your story. And it's been mind-boggling. It's been a story that has kept us thinking and wondering why a human being has to face all that from people that are supposed to care and love her. Okay, so we are going to continue with that story because we really need to get the end of that story to know where we are. And telling this story helps you to unburden, right? So I mean, just pour it out so you can be free from all the hurt and all the anger, because I know at times you feel anger, at times you feel frustrated, at times you feel lost, because it's coming from people that are supposed to love and care for you. That I understand that. And that is why we are saying spill it out, on body, where it can be well with you. Especially when you are into ministry, you cannot do the work of God with all the luggages in your heart. You need to let them go so that you can be free to do what you have to do. So that's what we are doing today. Let's continue with the story. Yeah.
Okay, so when I met my husband, that was in 2011, February 2nd, 2011. So we just met through his younger sister, who happened to be a friend of mine through Facebook, but she kept coming around. So she said, IJ, I'm going to marry you. He's not a girlfriend, he must marry you. Was a big cook for our family. And I laughed over it. And when he came to my house, to see me, when he came to my house, I introduced my young sister, and she went back to call our friend's daughter and told her.
Okay, Stephanie, I think you're logged in. Hello, Stephanie. Stephanie, hold on. Hold on. I think you're logged into 2 places. So you need to log out from one because it's classroom.
Okay.
Just go and log out from the 2 of them and come back in. Just go out completely. Go out from this one too.
Can I go out and come back?
Yeah, go back completely and come back in.
Okay, mommy.
Let me know when you're coming. Are you in?
Let me know when you're coming. Are you in? Not yet, mommy.
Okay, because I'm still seeing you here. You need to log
Okay,
out
because
from
I'm still
here.
seeing you here. You need to log out from here.
Hello. Okay, we are trying to correct some technical error here. We're trying to
marry you. You're not the girlfriend. You must marry me.
okay.
Was a big good for our family, and I laughed over it. And when he came to my house was evening. When he came to my house, I need to log out from here. Hello. I'm here.
All right. So that's good. Okay, we are trying to correct some technical error here.
Okay. So she called my elder sister, our first daughter, and told her that the person I wanted to get married to, poverty, extremely poor. I was also looking at it. I can't marry this man because I wasn't seeing anything around him. I was always saying to him, I said, if God will use me to change your story, I'm fine with that, rather than you saying you want to come and marry. Because me, I know if you marry poverty, I told him that. He just laughed and said, I will marry you. You are my wife. So as time progressed, my sister left my house. I was there with my husband to be, and we continued our journey together. Then in sometime in 2011, I got pregnant along the line. 2012, I gave birth to our first child. That was where the main battle started. My dad first refused him coming to pay my bride price because my dad he didn't want me to marry an outsider. But after much pressure and all of that, my father succumbed. So in 2012, the month of March, I had our first child through CS. My mom then was in America. So I called her ignorantly. Oh, mommy, I'm one. Onye ka money aneku. Isi Joma. Hey, Joma, what is it? Mommy, I've given birth. And she asked me, so you went and came back? I said, yes, so mommy, I went and came back. She now asked me, did you push or did you have CS? I said, I had CS. She said, okay, no problem. Girl or boy? I said, girl. She cut the call. I called my dad. I told my dad. My dad said, okay, no problem. But what does she mean by you went and came back? I didn't say anything. Our child started growing. 2013, we finally got married traditionally, did our blessing of marriage. By 2014, July, I had our second child, who also came through CS. And I called my mom out of excitement. Mommy, I've given birth to. She now said, Ijoma, again? I said, yes, mommy. She now said, but they just paid your bride price in November. How come you are giving birth in July? Were you aware you were pregnant? I said, no, mommy, I was not aware I was pregnant when they came to pay my bride price. She said, okay, what did I give birth to? I said, boy. And she asked again for the second time, this time very angry. Ijoma, ma, Ijoma, ma, Ijerenata. I'm like, yes, mommy. I went and I came back. He said, operation or normal delivery? I said, operation. She cut the call. Immediately, I called my dad. I then told my dad, I said, Daddy, this is the second time. In 2012, when I had our first child, I called our mother and I told her, mommy, I gave birth. She asked me, you went and came back in Igbo? I said, yes. My father said, I said, okay, I've given birth again, the second one. And I called mommy and I just told her, mommy, I've given birth. And she asked me for the second time, Ijerenata, meaning you went and came back. I said, yes, mommy. My father now said, what does she mean by Ijerenata? What does she mean by you went and came back? Is there anything she ought to tell you that she did not tell you? Mother, ask her, mommy, is there anything that you, Ijoma, needs to know? Or is there anything on ground that should be done so that we will begin to make inquiry and know how to sort it out? I said, okay. I waited for months to pass. I gave birth in July 2014. I waited till September 2014 because we dedicated that boy in the month of October, my birthday, exactly my birthday. And I called my mom in September and I said, Mommy, she said, who is she talking to? I said, Mommy, see Joma. She said, okay. Now, why am I calling her? I said, Mommy, I want to ask you a question. She said, okay, she's with me. I said, Mommy, I gave birth 2012. You asked me, Ijerenata, you went and came back. And I said, yes, I went and came back. I gave birth again this year, July. I called you, I told you. And you asked me, Ijerenata, you went and came back. I said, yes, I went and came back. And you just got the call. So, Mommy, I want to know, please don't be angry. Is there anything that I ought to know? The next thing, my mother exploded. Don't get me angry. And now we are there. Oh, you had began to rain curses on me. And she cut the call. I called my father and I told him, my father said, call her again and ask her, what is the matter? I called her after some couple of days and I asked her again. I said, Mommy, don't be angry. Explain to me if there's anything I need to know. Let me know. If there's anything that needs to be done, let it be done. If there's anywhere we need to go to do whatever it is that we need to do, let me know. Because I say, why I'm asking is that in this 2 journey of pregnancy, in fact, I died in the theater. How I came back alive, I can't explain it. So Mommy tell me that was when my mother now said, oh, so truly I want to know. I said, yes, Mommy. He said, so truly I want to know. I said, yes, Mommy. She now said, Ijoma, so truly you want to know. I said, yes, Mommy. She said, okay, now you want to know. Let me tell you. You are not even supposed to marry. You are not supposed to get pregnant. You are never supposed to give birth. That you escaped my eyes and you got married to who I didn't approve of. Then you escaped my eyes and you got pregnant. Then you escaped my eyes again and you put to bed. You were never to come back with children. Even if you put to bed, you were never to come back alive. And I shouted, Jesus. She said, what am I shouting for? That agreement is agreement. That did I remember Mama Nuku in her village? I said, yes. He said that was where she covenanted the matter to. Mama Nuku was a marine worshiper. Her mom and my mom, my grandmother and my mom were always going to that shrine. They will always take us there as children. My mom had 7 of us. 1 died, so we were left with 6. But before the 1 died, 7 of us. Each time we travel to the village, my mom would take us to see her parents. Her father, my grandfather of blessed memory, will always shout, we should not go to that place. But her mom, my grandmother, being a very stubborn, strong woman, will always take us to that place with my mom, her daughter, her first daughter. We will get to the woman's house. At the door of the woman's house was a very big picture of a mermaid. I will never forget. Each time we get there, she will tell them to cook yam and pour palm oil. All my siblings will sit down and eat. I was the only one never eating. And the woman will always say, you see, this girl sirike too much. You see, yakaraka. She will never drink water. She will ever eat food. From there, I will run back to my grandfather's compound because it was through a bush track. And I will go and tell my grandfather that is you, Grandpa, you, they are eating yam in that place. He will ask me, Nwadi, did you eat? I'll say, no, Grandpa. He said, don't eat that food. Oh, yeah, come, let me give you granuts to eat. I will chew granuts. He will take me back to my father's village. The rest will be there eating yam and palm oil, drinking water. So my mom told me, she said, that was where she covenanted it, that she made an agreement. If they look for her, they don't see. I should replace her. I said, God forbid, I will never replace you then. I can never serve mermaid. I told my mom. That was where the battle became intense. And my mother now said that she will do me. Let me speak it the way she spoke it in Igbo. You see, Joma, I can't translate that in English because I don't know how to translate it that it will be correct. I say, give
I
me
will
Joma.
deal with you. She said, Ijoma, I will deal with you. Seriously, I said, I will deal with you.
Yeah. She not said, except I said I wasn't going to do it. And my mom now told me that I had drawn a line for life and that I will suffer. I said I would not suffer. My mother said, no, come not challenge you. You're challenging me. You're challenging me. You want to lock na America. Now put in him not Nigeria. It's all my him get mega I got you no more. I will nega more. I said, Mommy, when I was here, ma'am, after 99 for Beati, Tinya Jara, when for honor. And I now cut the call. Instantly, I called my father. I now told my father laughed. My father said, John, I said, Daddy, he now asked me a question, a technical question. He said, Igejena be mamono, Miri, or ye joker. I said, Daddy, I chose my path to serve God and I will serve God. My father said, finish. That they don't force anybody to do anything. That whatever path I want to do, I should do that path. But that he's telling me that I should desist every communication from my mother. Now I understand where my battle is coming from. Mommy, I thought that was where it ended. We did dedication in the month of October. My mom kept calling my siblings. Nobody should give me a dime. I was dying. My family didn't give me a dime. I will call my sister in America, cry, and she will tell me that our mother said nobody should give me a dime. That me, I made myself an outcast amongst her children. That I went against her wish and married who I wanted, who I went out to marry. That because I did not marry who she wanted me to marry, I did not know who she wanted me to marry, that I broke her heart and I broke a covenant. 2014. Before you know, things started turning upside down for my husband and I. I called my dad. My dad said, endure. You say you want to stay in the marriage, stay there. We kept trying, we kept struggling. It got so bad, we lost our accommodation, frustration. I lost all my businesses. I was selling wrapper, I was selling jewelries. Everything went down the drain. We couldn't pay house rent. Oh God, we began to live in an uncompleted building. We lived in that building for 6 months. No roof, no window, no door, with a little daughter and a little baby in my hand. I called on to my family. I called my elder sister in the US on WhatsApp video. And she said she wouldn't do anything. That nobody asked me to go and suffer. Nobody encouraged me to walk into poverty. Was it easy on my husband's side? No. He's the first son of his father. His father didn't marry his mother, but had children with another woman. I went to my father-in-law with my 2 children, kneeling down, begging him. I said, Daddy, see what we are going to, see what you are going to. He said, Stephanie, you did not offend me. Oh. You did not offend me. My son, what did your son do? Okay, forgive him. Because of me, because of the children. Daddy, help us. Let us pay even if it is 1 room. My father-in-law didn't say anything. He turned his back. Already his family, his aunties told him, no marry this Igbo girl, this Anambra girl, her eye too shine. So he too was in a battle of his own. He was all alone. I was all alone. No father, no mother. He too, no father, no mother. Nobody. We were just there in between ourselves, battling a journey that we never knew how it would be. But the good thing about it was at the beginning of it all, we handed over this journey to God. And I told him, I opened up, I told him. Even after that conversation with my mom, I told my husband, I said, this is how it is. And we are going to run this journey together. We are not turning our backs. And we intensified our service and commitments to God. We continued like that, stayed in that uncompleted building until I spoke to his step-younger brother, who now asked me to come see one of their aunties, his late mom's younger sister. And we moved into Borokiri town, the place they call town in Borokiri. We moved into that woman's house. Her journey. We moved into that woman's house and we started staying with her. While we were living with her, I was washing clothes, cleaning everywhere, mopping house, not minding. One of his aunties will bring her dirty clothes for me to wash. We put her underpants inside and we wash it. When the elder sister saw it, she shouted, So how can you give her pants to wash? Your own sister's son's wife? I said, Mommy, leave it. It is nothing. It's nothing to me. I'm doing it with joy. She said, no, you can't wash inner pants. Even if you want to wash clothes, fine, but not our inner pants. You're not a slave. You're my sister's son's wife. You're my nephew's wife. We lived with that woman. On a certain day, she called me. She said, Stephanie, I said, Mommy. He said, who is in this house? I said, Mommy, only me and you, the children have gone out. He said, where's your husband? I said, he took a stroll. What of your children? I said, they are sleeping. She said, okay, lock the door. I want to talk to you. I locked the door. We sat in the parlor. We began to talk. And she said, Stephanie, I have looked at you and you're a nice girl. I don't know what is happening around you and your husband, but I just know you people need prayers. And you people need deliverance prayers. People need a deliverance minister to step in. Oh yeah, there's a place I'm going to send you people to, a church. That man is called into raw deliverance. He will begin this journey with you people. Do you know when you people wanted to come, I almost changed my mind. My sister, my brother said to me, this same my younger sister that gave me pants to wash, said to me, I should not allow people to come. Maybe what is pursuing our husband, our nephew, will now come into the house and begin to destroy things around your house. But we were in that woman's house. There was a building she and her husband embarked upon and they had abandoned. While we were praying in the house, I told them we're going to begin to do night prayers and morning prayers. We began those prayers. In the course of prayers, God used me to speak to her one morning and said, get water. We prayed with the water, poured it in that compound. And I told her, call your husband, tell him send money. He will send you 500. I was specific. I said, God said 500,000, begin back that project. She said, I said, yes, Mommy. It wasn't up to 3 days. She called the husband and told the husband. The husband said, okay, I will send you 500,000. Immediately sent that money. She called me and told me we began projecting that house to the glory of God. I told my husband, I said, call your stepmom, tell her to borrow us money. He said, are we going to pay? I said, don't worry, we'll pay that money. Tell her to borrow us money. Let us look for, even if it is a one room or a self-contained. He called his stepmom. She said, hey, she doesn't have money. Hey, she doesn't have money. She works with NNPC as a den. She doesn't have money. I don't even know what is happening between you and your father. I don't know why your father doesn't want to take eyes to see you because of this quarrel between you and your father. Look at how your wife and the children are suffering. Oh, I don't have money. Okay, I'm going to borrow from cooperative. If I borrow it every month, people will be paying 10,000 on top. I say, collect it. He now collected that money. His stepmom sent the money. We used it to pay for our first apartment. That was 2016. We moved into this self-contained in 2016 and we started life. The very first day we moved into that self-contained, I was sleeping. The next thing I had a dream and I heard, it is now you have started life. You people jumped. I brought you down so that you will learn. I woke up and I told my husband, I said, this is the dream I'm just waking from. He said, thank God, God has decided to show us mercy. He cried that morning. I said, leave it. God is with us in this journey. We stayed in that self-contained. We didn't have anything because rain had destroyed our mattress from that uncompleted building. We just had our clothes, our children, and 2 plastic chairs. Mommy, that plastic chair till today is still in our house with us. We refuse to throw it away. We kept it as a reminder of how far God has brought us. I think after this program, I'm going to have to break that chair and burn it. It's been a season of mixed feelings for me, mixed emotions. And we stayed in that house. We began to pray in that house. We began to live life afresh, fresh breath of air. One day on Facebook, someone made a post. I just commented ignorantly. And the next thing, the person sent me a message on Messenger and said, something just asked him to send me a message that who am I? I should explain who I am. And I told him, he said, okay, where are you? Where do you live? Where's your family? I explained to this man. I never knew that was the first angel in human form God sent to help us. When I told him, and I said, have you eaten? I said, no, my children haven't eaten. We sleep on the floor. He said, send me your account number. I sent account number. This man sent us 30,000, like play. As I showed my husband the alert, I just fell down to the ground. I said, I have fainted. Somebody that we don't know just dashed us 30,000 because we were doing that deliverance prayer. We were just in our mercy prayer. We're still doing the mercy prayer. And the man said, God will send help to you people. And that man called me in the evening and said, Are you good at typing? I said, yes. Can you use a computer? I said, yes, but I don't know how to set it very well, but I can help you type. He said, okay, come and meet me, so please. Come and type for me. I told my husband, so yeah, go now. Now God bring and come. Nothing will happen to you. He prayed with me. I left. I went to meet the man. I met him in an office. After I had finished typing, mommy, I said, sir, I'm going. He now said, okay, check your phone apps, check your account. I sent you money. Mommy, that man gave me 100,000. I said, in the space of how many hours? You have given me 130,000. He said, go and price mattress. I want to buy you mattress. Go and price television. Go and price cotton. You said there's nothing in your house. I said, yes, sir. He said, I believe you. Something in me tells me to believe you. Go and price it. I will buy it. Mommy, I went home. I told my husband. We prayed. We thanked God that night. I told our children. We bought Fanta. We bought bread. We bought Coke. All of us. We were just, and we prayed and we were like, thanking God with the excitement that life is about to begin again. And by the next morning, we went market spree to go and price all these things he asked us to price. By the time we finished, I called him. I said, Daddy, this is the price of these things you asked me to price. He said, I was praying in the night and I'm asked to ask you, are your children in school? I said, no. I said, they've not been in school for 1 year. He said, you mean your children dropped out of school for 1 year? I said, yes, sir. We did not have money to pay school fees. We were living in an uncompleted building and there was no money. He said, so they've not gone to any school. I said, no, sir. He said, go and look for a school around the house. Tell me how much your children must start school September. I will buy the school bag. I will buy everything. I will pay for their books. Mommy, it was as if heaven opened over us. We ran to the church. We told the pastor. He said, we have not started. That God is going to do something. True to his words, he gave us money. We bought mattress. We bought everything we needed in the house. He gave us money after 3 days. We enrolled the children in school. He said, I want to see the receipt of the school. We paid school fees. I went to meet him with the receipt and he looked at me. He said, any day your husband suspects I have an affair with you, I will stop to help you. I'm not going to sleep with you. I don't want to sleep with you. I just have this leading to be a blessing to you. For the period that will be a blessing to you, don't thank me, thank God. Never tell me thank you, always say thank God. Mommy, I'd never had that manner of favor. Every month, on the 23rd of every month, that man was sending 50,000 as up for my children. When I now told him we borrowed money for house rent, because he asked me how we paid the house, I told him. He now said, how much is the interest? I told him. Everything came out to 350. He gave us that money. When my husband sent the money to his stepmother, she called him and asked, so fast, how did you raise the money? He now said, Mommy, God did with me and my wife. She said, okay, thank you. And she cut the call. And he now told us he was going to renew the next rent for us, but we should give him a little time. Mommy, true to his words, this man helped us. This man did everything. Every 3 days, he will call me, come and type. As I go to type, by the time I'm done typing, if he doesn't give me 30,000, he will give me 50,000. And I'll ask him. I said, Oga, it's not like I am a good typer. I am a good typist, or I'm very vast in using computer. I type it, you are still the one that rearranges it. He said, don't worry. That is what my spirit tells me to do. Mommy. Now, man of God, be another man of God problem. Oh. We kept on doing what we're doing in the church for this pastor. Whenever there was a need in church, we will come to support. We were faithful in our tithes and offering. This man now called my husband one day and said, are you sure your wife is not sleeping with this man? My husband said no. He said, because in Okrika, if a woman is sleeping with another woman outside and cooks for you to eat, you will die quick. Began to sow dangerous seeds into my husband's heart. Before you knew it, we began to have problems in our marriage. And one day, we couldn't hold it again. I told my husband, I said, see that church? You don't end. We know they go there. We never fight this kind of fight before. We never quarrel this kind of quarrel before. We never disagree this kind of disagreement before. But you see this man, he'll be like, he was scatter the marriage. We're not going to that church again. Long and short of it, this man called me one day and told me, I told you, If your husband suspects is like I'm having an affair with you, I will cut away from you. The people that tell me to help you, I won't help you again. I said, sir, what did I do? That was when this man told me his story. He said, look at me very well. Look at my hand. You see that is a bit deformed. I said, yes, sir. He said, I was born a cripple. My mom gave birth to me a cripple. He said, my mom left me in the house and went to the farm. I was on the floor playing with sand. A tall man, fair, white clothes, came to me, asked me to give him my hand. I gave him my hand. He raised me up. I ran to the farm. When my mother saw me, my mother fainted in the farm. He said, I am a man of God. He called the name of his church. He said, God asked me to help you. But that if an issue will come in your marriage, I should step aside. Now there is an issue. I step aside. When you reconcile with your husband, if God asks me to continue, I will continue. But I saw that man stop to help us. So we were still in the house. That was how we met Mommy Rosemary's younger sister. In the course of all this journey, she now began to tell me, you have work, oh, go and do your work, oh, stop helping people grow their own ministry, oh. You have your own work to do. Your vineyard is lying fallow. I said, no, I don't get work to do. Let me just be going to church and be serving God. She said, okay, hand go touch you. Like that. I began to pray for people innocently. I will just stay. I will have messages for people. I will go deliver. I will go for my morning cry. I will do my evangelism like that, until one day we met Mommy Rosemary. I went to Bayelsa to pray for a family. When I came back, my husband told me about Mommy Rosemary. I went to meet her. As soon as I set my eyes on her, she shouted. He said, why did they exchange you for a marine kingdom? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. She said, don't lie to me. That was when she began to open up and she said, hold on to God. The battle is stronger in front. He said, your mother vowed, and there is a vow. You will see it as the time goes by. Like play. Mommy, before you know, everything lock up again. I now prayed one day and I heard, go and clap hand in your house. I, the Lord, will open the door. I called my husband. I said, you, they say, go and clap hands in the house. He will open the door. My husband said, okay, let's begin to clap hand. I said, me, I know they clap the hand. My just they go church, they pray for people, they do morning cry. I know make people gather from my house. They say that they do church. I know get strength to do church. My husband said, okay, let us continue to suffer. Since you want us to suffer, let us suffer. That was how somehow, God connected my husband to someone, a lost friend, a lost contact. And the person gave my husband money. We renewed that rent. After we renewed that rent, shortly after we renewed that rent, we started clapping in the house. We started singing. Neighbors will come at times. Neighbors will not come. We will just do prayer, worship, and just thank God in the house like that. Until one day we were sleeping. I told my husband, I said, this is the dream I had, though, that there's somebody we are going to pray for. When we are done praying for that person, that he's going to move us to another place. But that we should make a vow that in that place, the ministry must start. I woke up, I told my husband said, okay, this ministry, they gave you names since 2012, and you have been stubborn, you don't want to start. Are you ready to start? I said, yes. We now held our hands together, we prayed. 2 months later, I got a call from someone. I should come and follow her. Let's go to BMH to pray for somebody. We went to BMH in Port Harcourt. We finished praying for the person. The person now told a friend of hers about me and the lady. The friend now came, called me, took my number, called me, and came to see me. And she said, I have a family in Bayelsa. I want you to go and pray for them. There is a deliverance call on you. Please go to that family. God will use you for that family. I said, okay. She connected me to the man. Though the man is late now, I began to pray for that family. As the Lord instructed, I went to Bayelsa, did everything that God asked me to do for that family. His wife that was bedridden 14 years stood up and began to walk. I don't know how God did it. I can't explain that miracle. In appreciation, the man asked me, what do you want? I said, sir, where we are living is small. God said he will move us to a big place. I don't know if you are the one God wants to use, but we want to begin ministry there. He said, when you go back to Port Harcourt, go and look for the accommodation. Where you sit, let me know. I will give you money to pay for accommodation. Mommy, like play. I came back to Port Harcourt. I told my husband, our rent then was almost expiring. We began to look for house. We saw this one bedroom flat with the help of Mommy Rosemary's younger sister. She said, this is where people are going to live. I called the man inside the house. He saw the video of the house. He said, find out how much I will pay. He found out how much. I found out how much. I told him. He paid that rent. We moved into that house 31st of July 2018. 1st of August 2018, we started ministry. And I told my husband, I said, the name of the ministry was given. He said, he knows. Let's start ministry. We started ministry. And that's how we've been running the ministry from 2018 up till date. Mommy, in 2019, I took him. I didn't bother to tell my family. I only told my father. My father kept my secret. I didn't even tell my elder sister in America. It was while the pregnancy was progressing. I now called her to tell her because I now noticed through my results, I had pregnancy-induced BP. I had pregnancy-induced early-stage diabetes. So I now told her, and she began to monitor my pregnancy journey. In 2020 February, I had that child. It was a set of twins, but one, I lost one. This is our last child. I had that child. As I had that child, I called my dad. I told my dad, Dad, you had given birth to. He said, what did you give birth to? I said, baby boy. He said, good. Have you told your mother? I said, no. I said, I'm not going to tell her. Let her not ask me if I went and came back again. My father said, okay. So my mom didn't know. My elder sister knew when I had given birth. After we gave birth, less than 6 hours, the baby began to turn blue, just as this blue of my shirt. And they said lack of oxygen to the brain. We ran every manner of tests they ran. They said congenital pneumonia, a hole in the heart. Every boboti they called at the same time for this little child, innocent child. We began that journey. This child stayed in oxygen for four weeks and some days, a month and. I called my other sister in the US. I sent her the pictures. A friend of mine came to see us in the hospital, made a video, put on social media to help us to raise money because we didn't have enough money for that treatment. Oxygen a day was 72,000. My mother-in-law, my husband's stepmom, did the little she could do for us. And she said it was a loan again. And she loaned us that money, 300,000 for this journey, which we paid back. I called my other sister in the US. Sister, this is the condition. I don't have money right now. I will send you 50,000. She sent me 50,000. I said, that is all she can give. I said, sister, thank you. I called my elder brother in Lagos. That one said, hey, he doesn't have 1 naira to give to me. That anyhow I can help myself. I should help myself. It's my journey, it's my cross. I should sort it out myself. That Jehovah will make the baby not to die because he goes to Jehovah Witness. I said, amen. We were there in the hospital with this little child. People from social media began to raise money for us. They began to treat the boy. They connected to Kanu Heart Foundation that they should come. There was an emergency that the boy needed a heart surgery. We did X-ray, chest X-ray, ECG, everything on less than a month, baby. The pictures are still there. If they remove oxygen, he turns blue. His vitals were failing per second, but how God turned it. They did that test. Kanu Nwankwo Foundation was to send a delegation to Port Harcourt. COVID had come, but COVID hadn't hit Rivers State. They were to send a delegation. The doctor, Dr. Mfor, now said, Madam, let's do another X-ray, do another ECG. I don't know why, but I feel we should do another one. Let's be sure before the delegation comes to see this boy and let them prepare for the heart surgery. Mommy, we went for scan. We did everything. By the time the results came out, the hole in the heart was remaining like this. Wow. And the man said, what manner of miracle is this? I said, I don't know, sir. He said, if you know the God you serve, hold him very well. He said, what did you call this baby again? We didn't have a name. We only just called him baby Tamono. That is God baby. He said, indeed, God is with this child. Mommy, before you know it, vitals that were failing began to peak rapidly. Before you knew it, this boy, they removed oxygen. He was just there playing. They said, let them monitor him for some time. All along, I never knew my mom had landed Nigeria. I gave birth February 27th. By the second week of March, we were still in the hospital. My elder brother called me. Ijoma, I said, brother, are you aware our mother is in Nigeria? I said, I'm not aware. Oh, she didn't call you. I said, she didn't call me. He said, her brother called me to come and follow him to pick her in the airport. I said, no, I will not go. How can my mother come to Nigeria and not tell me her first son is telling the brother to tell me? What is our mother hiding? I said, I don't know. It's you people's mother. She said, me, I'm not a child. I am a mistake. She should have aborted me. She should have killed me. That I should never call her mommy. So she's not my mother. She's you people's mother. My brother laughed. My mom got to the airport in Lagos, told them to take her straight to my immediate elder sister's house. She was there with my immediate elder sister, our last born, and she warned them, don't tell Ijoma I'm in Nigeria. When I finish from Lagos, I want to go see my mother in the village. From the village, when I see my mother, she called our last born. Let me say her name is Jane. That's an imaginary name. She said, Jane, you will follow me to the village. From the village, we will come to Port Harcourt. We will get to Port Harcourt Park and I will call Ijoma and tell her I'm in Port Harcourt. When I call Ijoma and tell her I'm in Port Harcourt, Ijoma has no choice. She will not abandon me in the park. I want to come and ask her, Onyesi Ijoma, how did she speak it? Ijoma, Onyesi gi nyo no banana. I don't know how to interpret it. That who told me to do the abominable? Hey, mommy, I thought my battle had ended. It was then it dawned on me that the battle that mommy Rosemary told me was coming in full force. It was my senior brother called me and told